Hey guys, what's up? It's Katie and I'm back with another Marvel Contest of Champions video, and today we're going to be talking about the Vision Arcus. Now, the Vision Arcus, this is him here, he was believed to be a High Llama in Shangri-La. So he was once a normal human being, but he discovered the secret to immortality. Now, he pledged his life to the service of good and, basically traveled to the extra dimensional planet known as the Smoke Dimension. Now, whether it was his immortality or time spent in the Smoke Dimension, that remains to be seen, but he went from being human to being this green-skinned being with superpowers, and in the Smoke Dimension, Arcus became somewhat of a law enforcement agent. Now, he is part of the Golden Age of comics with the Black Widow, Clairvoyant, and a few others, part of the Golden Age back in the 40s, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Now, Arcus, the way he came to Earth was he first captured the first murderer in the Smoke Dimension. There were no murderers in the Smoke Dimension, and he caught that. So here he caught that guy. Seeking a place for banishment for the murderer, he was contacted by the scientist Markham Erickson, this guy. And Arcus banished the murderer to Jupiter and came to Earth, where Erickson asked him, well, this was in the early 1940s too, Erickson asked him to be a champion for Earth. Now, en route to Earth, he was intercepted by Enoch Mason, this guy's interdimensional access machine, which was actually being interfered with by Brains Morelli, he's like this big notorious gangster. Now, Arcus, defeated Borelli's gangsters who were going after Mason and Mason's family. And basically after that, he took up the position that he was going to fight organized crime and assist with the police in helping stop organized crime. But Arcus traveled back and forth between Earth and the Smoke Dimension, battling all sorts of paranormal entities. Like, he basically fought crazy monsters. He fought the werewolves, Gordon and Lupa Sanders. And so they could obviously transform into werewolves. They had lycanthropy, he fought the phony mystic Ramu Rondi, various other crazy supernatural forces, and he even fought dinosaurs, which was crazy. Now, during World War II, Arcus adopted the name The Vision, and he helped Professor Bauer escape a concentration camp and, assisted him in fleeing to Portugal. And then in 1942, the Vision clashed with Imperial Japanese forces when he stopped the Jelly Man and defended Santa Cruz from Japanese subs that were disguised as sharks, which was crazy. In 1943, the Vision also stopped the Nazi sympathizer Professor Rocker from using the gas of evil to enslave the world. Now, Arcus joined up with the Invaders and Captain America and he fought against a Nazi stronghold. Now, unfortunately, the Vision was forced to fight against the Invaders in the battle axis because Dr. Death, created a version, I keep saying Vision because this is Vision, a version of Dr. Erickson's machine, and threatened to keep the Vision Arcus trapped on Earth so that he would not be able to move between Earth and the Smoke Dimension. Now, in the battle, Dr. Death's machine was destroyed, but it released a poison gas where it would have killed the rest of the Invaders, but the Vision Arcus actually took the poison gas with him back into the Smoke Dimension, where he was able to, save the Invaders. And he actually did return decades later and joined up with the Mighty Avengers and the New Avengers in an effort to find the Cosmic Cube, and then returned the Invaders, these guys, back to their own point in time in history. There was a lot of time travel back and forth between then. Now, the Vision also teamed up with the Human Torch in an effort to stop the Mad Thinker. Okay, so now the Vision Arcus, he's got some crazy cool abilities. He can control gases, vapors, and smoke. So if there is gas, vapor, smoke, wherever, anything like that material, he can teleport to it and travel through dimensions in the smoke. Now, he's also immune to toxic substances and is nearly indestructible and has the ability to control minds. Now, he also has an astral form, kind of like Doctor Strange, which is pretty neat, right? Right, so now that we know about all of his abilities, let's take a look and see if the MCOC version of Arcus matches up to his comic book version. So I just recently opened Vision Arcus for part of the early access deal. I bought those crystals and opened up a 4-star. So I have him awakened. So let's first take a look at his abilities and see if they match up. Okay. So his awakened ability, Smoke and Mirrors, whenever Arcus gains a non-damaging debuff, he has a % chance to purify one of each non-damaging debuff on him. This cannot trigger more than once every 9.5 seconds. Okay, so that kind of gives him a little bit of utility, not much, any non-damaging debuffs, so you're not gonna get, you know, purifying things like poison, bleed, that sort of thing. Okay, passive, Arcus reduces the potency of power drain effects by 80% and the duration of power lock by 50%. Arcus gains 15% less power from landing and receiving hits. All right, Power of the Smoke World, which is the buff, and he can stack a max of 5. Arcus draws smoke from the Smoke World dimension at all times. He starts the fight with a power gain buff and gains 1 every 10 seconds. These buffs last indefinitely. The first one grants Arcus 4% of a bar of power every 1 second, and every subsequent power gain buff is 33.33% less effective. Now, he also gains 1 whenever his power is drained or receives a power lock debuff. So basically, you don't want to power lock and you don't want to power drain him. Frozen Air. While Arcus has a power gain buff, he freezes the air near him. Every 2.3 seconds the opponent spends near Arcus, they gain an armor break debuff, decreasing armor rating by X amount for 5 seconds. These armor breaks are capped at 10, so it seems like he is a ghost counter. Armor break debuffs on the opponent are paused while they are near Arcus. While the opponent is near Arcus, they have an armor break or armor shatter debuff. They also gain a cold snap debuff, dealing X amount of energy damage over 0.5 seconds. Opponents under a cold snap cannot evade attacks. So he's going to be good against evaders, much like Iceman is when he has a cold snap on his opponent. Now let's take a look at his special attacks. Hits from special attacks pause all armor break debuffs on the opponent until the end of the special attack. Okay, so now let's take a look at his special attacks. Now, hits from any special attacks pause all armor break debuffs on the opponent until the end of the special attack. Special attack 1, each hit refreshes all armor break debuffs on the opponent. If the opponent is armor shattered, this attack deals X bonus energy damage. So definitely want to have that opponent armor shattered to get the extra bonus from the special 1. Special attack 2, replace all armor break debuffs on the opponent with 1 armor shattered debuff. For each armor break removed, this debuff lasts 5 seconds and reduces armor rating by X. Now, while armor shattered is active, opponents cannot suffer from further armor break debuffs nor activate their armor buffs. Additionally, this debuff shatters robot champion systems, reducing their ability accuracy and power gain by 100%. So, like Medusa, it seems like Arcus is going to shut down those pesky robots. If the opponent was already armor shattered, instead this attack deals X bonus energy damage. Special attack 3, Arcus increases the area his abilities affect to cover the entire field for 20 seconds. So instead, I guess, of just being that, you know, the basic hitbox, it extends farther, which is understandable. It's the special 3. If the opponent is armor shattered when this attack is activated, gain a fury buff, increasing attack rating by X for 20 seconds. Overall, I'm kind of disappointed in how Kabam dealt with Arcus. Now, Arcus, they didn't make Arcus a dimensional being, and he really should be, right? I mean, he travels to and from the smoke dimension. So, to me, that should mean that he is a dimensional being, so I kind of feel like Kabam fell flat there, and I really feel like they fell flat with his abilities because in the comics, he's immune to all toxic substances, so you could have another immunities champ here and they didn't even give him that. So, I mean, I'm kind of disappointed with that. He's nearly indestructible, so they could have given him an indestructible charge, much like Luke Cage, or even one at the end, like Hela gets, you know, with her cheat death, or if you bring the Heimdall synergy on. So I feel like Kabam fell flat there. They could have brought that into it, and the ability to control minds, they could have given him inverse controls, much like Emma Frost has. We don't really have that many champs that do that. I'm pretty sure only Emma does it. So I feel like they kind of dropped the ball short there. They totally could have given him that off the special 2. It doesn't even have to be after all specials. It could have just been after, you know, either of the specials, even the special 3, you know, something like that. And his astral form, I think that would have been a really cool special 3 ability that they could have given him after he drops the special 3. So I feel like Kabam really fell short in connecting this champion to how he is in the comics. So I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. But let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of Vision Arcus? Do you like how he is? Do you like his abilities? Do you think Kabam kind of dropped the ball on him when it comes to his comic counterpart? Let me know in the comments below and let's discuss. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you guys liked what you saw and you want to see more, please remember to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and hit me up in the Discord chat. Thanks, guys. Bye.